they start young, that's how it is. But, life is not fair. So you just got to live with life, and you just got to be patient. I've been patient this long, I can be patient for another year.
Back in the spring of 1995, the Philadelphia 76ers kept hearing whispers about this local high school kid who was lighting up every gym in the city. He was the son of a former pro, and his whole vibe already felt NBA ready, even though he hadn't even wrapped up his junior year. Head coach John Lucas got so impressed after watching just one game that he immediately pulled the kid into a private 76ers workout. And the moment that 16-year-old phenom stepped on the court, he turned the whole thing upside down. He was dropping smooth buckets on 76ers rookie Jerry Stackhouse, showing grown man skills while still a teenager, and walking out of that gym like someone who already belonged in the league. It didn't take long before the entire city knew about this mysterious high school hooper and the legendary secret practice he had with an actual NBA team. People couldn't believe how confident, polished, and dangerous he looked at just 16. Fast forward 1 year to the 1996 NBA draft, everyone expected the 76ers to grab that same kid they'd seen dominating in their gym, but it didn't happen. Philly went with college superstar Allen Iverson at number 1, and that young kid from the workout ended up getting picked later by another team. He didn't complain, didn't fold, he turned into a global icon with a different franchise. That kid was Kobe Bryant, but the wildest part, before the world even knew Kobe's name, John Lucas was the one who spotted the spark and gave him a lane to compete with NBA players. And Lucas had a habit of doing this, opening the gym doors for hungry young hoopers, letting high school players test themselves against pros. 7 years after that Kobe workout, Lucas would send out another invite to another local high school talent, an invite that would trigger a suspension, hit the team with a fat fine, and introduce the franchise to the future face of their organization before he even had the chance to put on an NBA jersey.
The league has fined the Cleveland Cavaliers $150,000 and suspended head coach John Lucas for the first 2 games of next season. That after the team invited the nation's top high school player LeBron James to a workout last week. Under league rules, teams cannot have contact with players who aren't eligible for the draft. James, a high school junior, won't be eligible until next year.
Inside the team, the energy was all over the place. The coaches were whispering to each other like they had just struck gold, saying the penalty was nothing compared to what they'd just seen. They were convinced this quiet kid could end up being the future face of the whole franchise.
The Cavs might not care, but I'm sure the Nuggets are smiling today, as both teams now have a chance for gold in the NBA draft. And that gold, LeBron James. But is the 18-year-old from Akron truly the savior?
We have better players than him in his position already on our team, though.
I don't think you can really just bring a high school player in and really just think your team gonna really turn around like that. If he come, you know what I'm saying, he can just hop on our bandwagon and hopefully we can do something big.
Cavaliers players were getting hit with questions about possibly drafting some local high school kid who was already getting insane hype, and they weren't feeling it at all. In 2003, the Cavs hadn't even won the draft lottery yet. The team had just finished their roughest season in 20 years, and everybody in that locker room was drained. The last thing they wanted to hear about was a teenager people were calling their future savior. To them, it sounded like wild talk about a kid who hadn't proven anything to grown pros yet. They weren't buying the hype at all, not even a little. But here's the twist. They didn't need to buy into anything because this wasn't some mystery kid they had only heard rumors about. They already knew exactly who he was. Those same Cavaliers players had gone up against the rising superstar from Akron a whole year before those interviews, and that game told them everything the world was about to find out. LeBron was flat out better than every single one of them, and he was still in high school. By 2002, LeBron wasn't just the top high school player, he was the number one NBA prospect on the planet. Period. Age didn't matter, class didn't matter. He was the clear favorite to go first overall, even though he was just a 17-year-old junior. And it wasn't only early LeBron fans saying that. Everybody saw it coming.
LeBron would have been the number 1 pick in last year's draft. That should give you an indication of what kind of talent he is.
Most kids should not leave early. They're not prepared for it emotionally or from a maturity level physically, but this kid is.
He was such a rare talent in high school that people were treating him like an NBA player before he ever got close to the league. His name was everywhere, and when folks started calling him the chosen one, prime Shaquille O'Neal had to see the kid himself. Shaq showed up at one of LeBron's games, watched this 17-year-old run the court with grown-level skill, and walked away shocked, ready to speak on what he just witnessed.
He's an all-around great player. He has it all, definitely. He's very athletic. He has a lot of poise. He can do almost everything.
That same season, Allen Iverson, the reigning MVP, had to see for himself whether LeBron was really built like the rumors claimed, and the hype wasn't just real, it was loud. Opponents were hungry for any tiny moment where they could say they got the best of him, even for a split second. One night, high school star Maurice Rice hit LeBron with a nasty crossover that sent him to the floor, and the whole gym exploded like it was the play of the century. His teammates were jumping around like they'd won a championship, totally ignoring the huge scoreboard gap and the wild shot that came right after. But Allen Iverson wasn't fooled for a second. He saw everything he needed to see. LeBron was exactly who the streets said he was. But long before NBA superstars started pulling up to his games, LeBron's skill was already way past anything high school basketball could handle. The only way for him to level up his NBA-ready game was to actually hoop with NBA players. That's when Chris Dennis, LeBron's family advisor at the time, pushed the gas on his development, taking every chance to sneak him into gyms with pros, calling coaches, talking to scouts, and accepting invites to pro runs. Chris wanted LeBron in front of the best basketball talent in the world as early as possible. And the craziest part, Chris started this whole plan when LeBron was just 15 years old. As LeBron's game kept leveling up, the invites started stacking fast. By 2001, 16-year-old LeBron was invited to a serious workout with real NBA dudes. On the floor that day were names like Antoine Walker, Jerry Stackhouse, Michael Finley, and a young Ron Artest. When LeBron walked into that gym, none of them even knew his name. To them, he was just another elite kid trying to get some runs. But when he walked out, every single one of those pros knew exactly who LeBron was.
Antoine Walker, Michael Finley, Jerry Stackhouse, they was all up in the building. So he's coming into the gym. I'm like, all right, cool, I want to see what he got. And he was cooking. Like, he was 15 or 16, posting, getting to the basket, and I'm like, this is going to be a huge issue.
Right.
So
you knew right away. Yeah,
he could have won pro right then, honestly.
Yeah, really?
100%.
Very quickly, the legend of LeBron James spread everywhere, not just through homes across the country, but straight into NBA locker rooms. More players wanted to see this Akron kid with their own eyes, so he kept showing up to pro runs, and the outcome never changed. He looked ready for the league right then and there. That same year, LeBron got invited to a workout with Penny Hardaway and Michael Jordan. 2 hours later, every doubter in the gym had flipped. The 17-year-old kid had just proven he was the real deal.
I heard from an NBA source that this summer when he worked out with Michael Jordan that the two best players in the gym were Penny Hardaway and LeBron James.
The moment LeBron started showing up at those pro runs, word about his talent spread like wildfire. Suddenly, everyone was talking about this unreal kid from Akron, from street courts to NBA locker rooms. Every time he walked into a gym, more players pulled up just to see if the stories were real. And the more people watched him hoop, the louder those conversations got, because it was clear this kid wasn't normal. He was something special.
A young LeBron was in there.
Well, LeBron was a sophomore, and Antoine brought him that time.
Oh, that's what happened?
He was a
Yeah.
sophomore. That's when he had the glasses still then, the little joints that go around his neck.
He was cooking. He couldn't. Nobody can guard him. LeBron James.
Oh.
They couldn't guard him. I'm like, I'm getting embarrassed. He's embarrassing us.
NBA players were talking about high school LeBron like he was already a full-blown superstar. These grown pros walked out of those runs saying the kid was unguardable, like nothing they'd ever seen from a teenager. They couldn't believe someone that young was giving professionals real problems on the court.
My first All-Star game in Philly. And, we in the locker room and, we talking to reporters and they was like, man, have y'all heard of this kid? The chatter was like, have you heard of this kid named LeBron James? Man, this kid he a high school phenom. He's so good, he could probably start in this All-Star game. And I was like, so I sat up and was like, what? This kid, I had to really sit up and say, it's a kid out there in high school this good. And I saw a lot of NBA guys was going out, flying out to see this play. Celebrities, rappers, Jay-Z and all them going out to see him play.
This kid that I had to really sit up and say, it is a kid out there in high, this good. I saw a lot of NBA guys was going out, flying out to see this play. Celebrities, rappers, Jay-Z, and all them going out to see him play. So many people started talking about LeBron that celebrities began pulling up just to see what this kid was all about. Stars wanted to know who this player was, what kind of unreal stuff he was doing on the court, and why everyone kept saying he was unstoppable. They showed up to watch him with their own eyes to see the crazy moves he was pulling off and the way he took over games like it was nothing.
Want to know, was he really as unguardable as he say he was?
Yes. We wanted to see what he had, what he could do. It was a 3-on-2. We thought he was going to pass, and it was like in slow motion. The just took off. That's incredible. Yeah. I mean, for a 16, 17-year-old kid to come in and do something like that, you knew that he was going to be that in the NBA. You knew that.
After spending 2 straight years hooping against the best players in the world and showing everyone he wasn't just NBA level, he was already beyond ready for the league, LeBron decided to shoot his shot early. At just 17 years old, right after his junior season, he tried to enter the NBA draft. Scouts and analysts were convinced that if he was allowed in, he would have been the clear #1 pick in the 2002 NBA draft, even without playing a single minute of his senior year. That's how undeniable he was. The verdict was loud and simple. The kid was ready, but the NBA wasn't. The league rules at the time made it impossible. An athlete had to finish high school before becoming eligible for the draft, no exceptions. So even though LeBron was playing like a grown star, the NBA shut the door on him. And LeBron's response to that rejection? He didn't complain. He locked in even harder, ready to show the world that stopping him from entering early wasn't stopping his rise.
You know, they start young, that's how it is. But, life is not fair. So you just got to live with life, and you just got to be patient. I've been patient this long, I can be patient for another year.
The kid was running with NBA players, giving them real buckets, proving he could keep up with grown pros, but he still couldn't join the league. So he did the next best thing. He kept hooping, stayed locked in, and waited for his moment. By spring 2002, John Lucas, the same coach who once brought a 16-year-old Kobe Bryant into that legendary 76ers workout, was now the head coach of the Cavaliers. His exclusive pro runs were still happening, and only real pros or once-in-a-generation high school talents ever got invites. But by then, Lucas wasn't just hosting open runs. He was recruiting because just 40 miles away, the best NBA prospect on the planet had wrapped up his junior season. A kid still a year away from being draft eligible, already known for stepping into NBA gyms and shocking everybody inside. Lucas himself had been a skeptic. He'd heard the stories, but he didn't buy into the hype. Not until he saw LeBron play in person a year earlier. The moment he watched him, he understood. The kid wasn't normal. So barely a month after the Cavs season ended, Lucas reached out and invited LeBron to come work out with the team. By this point, most players around the league already knew about LeBron and knew how special he was. But the guys on the Cavaliers, they weren't believers. When word spread that this high school kid was coming to their workout, they weren't impressed. They were ready to expose him. Players like Darius Miles and Carlos Boozer came into the gym looking to prove he wasn't as NBA ready as the hype claimed.
The league has fined the Cleveland Cavaliers $150,000 and suspended head coach John Lucas for the first 2 games of next season. That after the team invited the nation's top high school player LeBron James to a workout last week. Under league rules, teams cannot have contact with players who aren't eligible for the draft. James, a high school junior, won't be eligible until next year.
And like nobody was passing Bron the ball because everybody knew he was in high school. And we was all like not passing the ball. My dad like stopped practice. Like, hey, y'all little back, get him the ball. He the best one on the court. I was just like disgusted. I was like, man, here, like threw the ball to him like he ain't gonna do nothing with it. So we'll get it right back. Hey, bro, he make a move. So now you got Chris Mims, Sagana Diop, Carlos Boozer.
The whole Cavs team, by the way.
Man, this man goes underneath the rim, reversing, throws it in without looking at the rim. Man, he got the ball every possession after that. Because it was unbelievable. He's like, what else can you?
Yeah. And at first, it looked like they were right. LeBron started slow. He didn't force anything. He barely touched the ball. He looked like a kid trying to fit in, not take over. Cavs assistant coach Keith Smart said LeBron basically blended in with everyone else. One player even admitted they weren't passing him the ball at all, but LeBron wasn't there to blend in. And Lucas hadn't invited him to just be another body on the court. Lucas had spent weeks telling people that this kid might be better than Kobe was in their legendary runs 7 years earlier, but 2 games in, the Cavs players weren't seeing it. To them, LeBron looked nervous, overwhelmed, not ready for real NBA competition. So Lucas stepped in, he pulled LeBron aside and called him out right to his face, saying, "So you don't want to play with the big boys? You gonna live off those accolades? You ain't ready." According to Johnny Clark, who worked in player development for the Cavs and watched the whole thing, what happened next was like a switch flipping inside LeBron. He snapped into a different mode instantly. His whole energy changed, and by the time the workout ended, the Cavaliers had their answer. And it wasn't the one they expected.
You know, we hear about LeBron. We saw him play a couple times in high school, and he looks terrific against the high school competition. So you're like, oh, he's going to be able to play and compete. We get him on campus to get him to practice. Right away, we knew that he was our best player. He passed the ball. He got by people. He wanted to draw on the defense and kick it. He made the game so much easier and so much fun to play with. Right away, we knew he was our best player.
Wag was there. It was his rookie year. Dimbo Cole, Darius Miles. But when he jumped him outside the paint, it was Sagana, and it was either Chris Mims No, it was Sagana and Carlos Boozer went up to try to block it. So he jumped like this, like he was going to dunk it on one side. He went underneath the goal and dunked it back without touching the rim. Just threw it in and just kept running like it was nothing. The rest was history after that.
Because everybody knew he was in high school and we was all like not passing the ball. My dad like stopped practice, like, hey, y'all little S-back, get him the ball. He the best one on the court. I was just like disgusted. I was just like, man, here, like threw the ball to him like he ain't gonna do nothing with it, so we'll get it right back. Hey, bro, he make a move. So now you got Chris Seg, Dio, Carlos Boozer, the whole Cavs scene. By the way, man, this man goes underneath the rim, reverse it, throws it in without looking at the rim man. He got to put ball every possession after that because it was unbelievable. He was like, what else can he not? What else can you, yeah. After John Lucas called him out, LeBron flipped into a whole different mode and spent the rest of that workout running through everyone in the gym. He started scoring, quote, all the points, dropping every dime and completely taking over the entire run like it was his court now. Even the pros couldn't believe what they were seeing. Johnny Clark said it best. I'm glad I was here to see this because if someone told me what he did, I wouldn't have believed them. And he wasn't alone. Every single Cavs player in that gym was stunned watching a high school kid dominate grown NBA bodies like that. Former Cavs player Bryant Stith was so blown away that he went home that same night and called his high school coach, telling him he had just seen the next NBA superstar with his own eyes. And Lucas's own son, John Lucas III, who was in college at the time and also in the gym that day, started making calls too, telling people the Kobe comparisons weren't just hype, they were real. By the time everyone walked out of that gym, there was no more doubt, no more questions, no more rumors to wait and see. Everything people had been whispering, the stories, the Sports Illustrated cover, the nickname, The Chosen One, it was all true. LeBron proved it right there in front of a room full of pros. And here's the wild part. All those Cavs players doing interviews later, they had already played against LeBron a year before those interviews even happened.
What do you say about the hype? Like Carlos Boozer, you heard his comments in the media.
Yeah.
And a lot of people saying that, you know, they had guys better than him.
At the time, it was.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a, like, they, you know the media, bro. They'll take a statement from you and they'll make it out of something like the stuff that I said. If they really broke down the whole interview and seen every word it said, I was actually taking up for him. I used to call back to the crib and I used to tell my homeboys, I was like, bro, it's this dude in high school, bro. He might be the best high school player ever because I seen him throw it between his legs in the game. I'm like, shit, he might be the best high school player ever. Them boys like, nah, folks, nah. It can't, no, it can't. No, it ain't. He ain't better than you. I'm like, bro, I'm watching this dude. This dude is going through one. And it's looking effortless. East. And I'm arguing with my homeboys about him being better than me, and I'm calling them about him.
They had seen him up close, went toe-to-toe with him, and left blown away by how good he was. That's why Carlos Boozer's comment about already having better players at his position sounded so strange. Because even back in 2001, John Lucas himself said LeBron might have been better than the Cavs at starting guard the first time he ever saw him hoop at just 16. But you don't gotta take my word for it. You can listen to the words straight from Darius Miles' own mouth before the interview, before Lucas warned him about LeBron, and before that legendary workout ever even happened. Turns out they knew all along that LeBron wasn't just as good as everyone said, he was even better. Deep down, they realized the hype wasn't exaggerated, it was too small. And that kid from Akron who walked into their workout in the spring of 2002, he was the one who was about to flip their entire franchise overnight and drag the Cavaliers into a whole new era. LeBron wasn't just living up to the hype, he was rewriting what hype even meant. But now I want to hear from you. What do you think about everything that went down? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I honestly want to read what you got to say. Thanks so much for watching and rocking with Ball Stories. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button, share the video, and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. There are plenty more crazy basketball stories waiting for you right here on the channel, so don't stop now. Check out another video and keep the journey going. Catch you in the next one.